Good morning. It's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist. I'm excited about this scope. This is a teaching scope, and it is going to go inside of my scoping school that has over 250 training scopes. As soon as you get started, we add 4 new scopes every single month. Mindset, business, and coaching scopes. I always bring my A game. Promise never to waste your time, and a live Facebook Q&A with me each and every month. I'm excited about this topic today. I'm going to be teaching on, just real plain and simple why smart people struggle to monetize their gifts. Now, I am going to tell you it's going to be a tough scope. So if your feelings get hurt easily, this is not the scope for you. You need to check me out on a different scope. But today I'm going to be breaking down why brilliant, amazing, sharp, talented people struggle to monetize in their business, right? Why people struggle who are exceptionally talented in their business to monetize in their business, all right? So if you have any friends who you know might benefit from this, please share. Simply, if you have an iOS device, swipe from left to right. If you have an Android device, swipe from the bottom to the top of the screen. If you love the scope, then hit this little guy here on Periscope as we get started, all right? I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. I support clients with life and business success. You can always check me out, hey Candace, at miaredrick.com. What I love to scope about is to support you in understanding that you are product and that you can take your gifts, your background, and your education and package those things to be able to sell to people in many different ways. And as a consultant, as a trainer, one-to-many models, you can take your education, your PhD, your MD, your JD, and package those things into products. And guys, in your experience, people will pay you for what you know. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. My background is corporate training. And when I got started in my business, hey, Latasha, I decided to go to work as myself. And in essence, I wanted to combine my background as a corporate trainer, understand how to create content with many different things, and my love of motherhood into a business. It was kind of radical back then, 13 years ago, and I had no idea how to package my own brilliance, all right? So one of the things that I decided I would do is to go to a small business resource center. I went to that small business resource center, and you know what? They told me that my idea didn't make any sense. I have a frog in my throat. My idea didn't make any sense, and that I needed to go back to corporate America and get a job. Can you believe that? And I'm so glad that I didn't listen. I ended up working with a top coach in the country, Terry Levine. Her models really changed my life. She was the first entrepreneur that I ever met that was truly free. That was like a laptop entrepreneur. And she would pick up November, December, and January and go to another country. Now, sometimes I scope on Sundays. And so I wanted to get my scoping done early today, Latasha, because we've got some Christmas things we've got to get done, all right? And I wanted to get that knocked out, all right? So today I'm going to be scoping on, why smart people struggle to monetize their gifts. I'm going to break it down. It is going to be a tough scope. I did say if your feelings get hurt easily, this is not the scope to join me on. This is not the best first scope for you, all right? And so I watched her model, this coach, and I really loved it. And I knew that I wanted freedom, and I just began to really absorb what I was learning from her. As a result, fast forward, I've coached over 602 clients. Over 113 of my clients are authors. More than half of them are #1 bestsellers. And I love what I get to do. And I work with people who are smart, who are sharp, and they believe in self-investment. And, a lot of my clients are physicians or doctors or, at a high level in terms of their profession. I've worked with a chief of police and colonels and PGA golf pros, but lots of brands that have done exceptionally well in their business, multiple six-figure earners. And what I'm going to break down today is for those of you who are sharp, you're talented, you're gifted, you're amazing, you're brilliant, but you struggle with how in the world do you take the things that you really know how to do and monetize those gifts, because I see that all the time. As a result, for me personally, being an entrepreneur, I was able to be there for my husband when he developed kidney disease 7 years ago. And, to me, there's no greater gift than building a business that allows you to be free. Because I have been a full-time entrepreneur for over a decade, my husband the same, I could be there for him when he needed me most. And I know for sure that that's the reason why a lot of people like to be entrepreneurs. They want to control their time. But equally, I love being an entrepreneur because we were able to hire a private physician for my husband during that kidney disease process, and when he got his kidney transplant. And I believe that's why he did so amazingly well. That's Entrepreneurship is a great tool because as you can monetize at a high level, you can afford things for your family, a different level of care. And I know that's significant for many of you guys out here. And I think sometimes we don't talk about those things enough. You have a lot of people talking about money and like money is all of this and all that. Money is a tool by which you get to really you get to whatever you focus on in your heart, you get to amp that up, right? When you have money. And to me, being there for my family has been one of the greatest gifts of all. Being an entrepreneur also has afforded us the opportunity to be able to invest in private school for our kids. $715,000, guys, we've paid to educate these little people, 18, 15, and 11 years old. And I know that there's some of you guys out here who are interested in doing exactly the same. And that's why I always tell you that. But there's nothing like me being able to date my husband when I want to in the middle of the day, or coming into my office at 11 o'clock. I start work at 11 o'clock. I don't work Mondays or Fridays in my business because that's how I designed a business. I believe your life informs your business doesn't inform your life. And I think one of the things that's very unique about what I offer is the fact that I built my business from my home, my coaching practice from my home without a lot of travel. I travel less than 15% of the year. And that's a lot for me right now because I didn't even do that when Matt was going through his whole kidney transplant process. The fact of the matter is a lot of you guys have never seen a model where someone is actually truly monetizing and building a business, a multiple six-figure business from home, working 30 hours a month. And that's me, all right? And I'm real excited about that. I'm excited about sharing how you can take your brilliance and your gifts to be able to do the exact same thing, all right? So I'm going to get started today. I'm going to be teaching today literally why smart people struggle to monetize their gifts, all right? Why smart people struggle. And there's the smart person struggle is a little different. And I've written down a couple of things that I want to make sure I communicate to you so that you get this right in this upcoming year. Maybe some of these things you've thought of and a couple of these things you haven't. My only goal is to support you, but I will disclaim it is a tough scope. So if your feelings get hurt easily, this is not the scope for you. Now is the time to leave the room. If you haven't shared with other people that you know will benefit, please do. If you're watching the replay, you can share. 1 second. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get started. Are you guys ready? I hope you're ready, all right? If you're ready, say, I'm ready, Mia. Okay, you can say ready also, sitting wherever you are watching me. I'm ready, all right? Are you ready? I'm going to bring my A game for this, all right? I'm bringing my A game. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. All right, the first reason why smart people are monetizing in their business, really the first reason is because you are trying to coach yourself. You're trying to be your own talent. You're trying to be your own advisor because you likely have that position in the lives of other people and it's not working for you, right? Because you can't objectively see yourself or package yourself. All right. So one of the very first reasons that I find that people struggle who are smart and who are sharp and who are brilliant in monetizing their gifts is because they have not worked with a coach. They haven't worked with someone that can support them in taking their own gifts and showing them different monetary centers for that gift, like different ways you can package it, and that's what I see when I work with brilliant people. I had an anchor woman, for example, that I worked with. And, she didn't get paid unless she's sitting in the anchor seat every night. One of the things that I was able to do for her was show her different ways that she could take her gifts of, being a news expert and package that into a school that people would buy from her based on her expertise. I know you want to know what it is. I can't tell you what she did, but she's been able to monetize in her business. And it all came from me being able to look at her talent, her brilliance, which is sitting in that anchor seat every night, and then supporting her with how she could take her knowledge and her expertise and package that into product that she could sell with a one-to-many model. So a lot of you guys are not able to get to your next level, not because you're not talented or smart. And I know you're scratching your head, like, why is this not working for me? Because you're trying to coach yourself and you don't really know how to package your gifts. You don't know how to package it and properly evaluate it, then put it together. And as a result of that, that's the only reason that, hey there, that you're not monetizing in your business. It's not because what you're doing or what you came up with won't work. It's just, it's probably not the best practices for you. All right. And I highly recommend that you work with a coach at a high level. You need to make that investment so that you can get your questions answered in the upcoming year. All right. Do me a favor, for those of you who are joining me, please share this scope. All you need to do is swipe from left to right if you have an iOS device, or from the bottom to the top if you have an Android device. And if you're not following me and you like this message, hit that little guy here on Periscope, okay? Today I'm teaching on why talented and brilliant people really do struggle to monetize in their business. They struggle. And I see it all the time. I work with so many talented people. I have a client who came to me, and one of her services that she offers is she supports kids who want to go to Ivy League schools. And she has a whole system, and she actually has a track record of being able to prep you all the things you need to do if you specifically want to get yourself, increase your chances to get in an Ivy League school. So one of the things that she was selling a product for was like $40, right? And when I was able to see what she had put together on her own, she didn't have a coach. I told her, I said, your prices are too low, and your target audience would never trust you at this target, at this price point. And that's why they're not buying from you, because they can't even buy a textbook for $40. And as a result of her investing with me, one of the things that we did right away is we increased the price to $400. She sold it within 3 weeks of us increasing the price. Why? Because I understand how to package, smart, brilliant, sharp people. I know how content sells. And if you don't know how content sells, you might be great at what you do, but you don't know how to package the gift. All right. And that's why you're not monetizing. It's not for any other reason. I'm just breaking that down for you. And you need to also understand that. You need to understand that that's a blind spot for you. And that's hard sometimes for talented people, because you're used to sitting down and doing the grind and coming up with something amazing and getting a lot of people to, shout you out and getting a lot of accolades around what you're doing. But you also need to know the things you're not good at. And you're not good at it because there's no reason that you should be where you are at this point in your business and not monetizing your business with all the amazing content that you're putting out there, with all the advice that you're giving. A lot of times the things you're saying is really transforming and changing the lives of other people. And you're looking at yourself thinking, what is wrong? Like, these people are monetizing and their lives are changing and their things are getting better. And you're at the same place because you don't know how to package the gift. All right. And that's your responsibility. And I told you I was going to call you out. It's going to be a tough scope, but hang in there. All right. Today I'm teaching on why brilliant and talented and amazing people don't monetize in their business. The second reason is that you don't know how to sell your intellect. You don't know how to sell your own intellect, your own intellectual property. And because you don't have a sales process for your intellect, you don't have sales packages for what you offer, you might be putting something out there on the website. You're leaving money on the table. I see this all the time. Maybe a package that you're selling, it needs to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, and you're selling it for a couple $100 because you don't really know. Thank you so much. You don't really know how to properly value your gift, your talent. You don't even know in the marketplace what your offering is selling for. All right. And so, the reason you're not making the money you need to be making, you're making hundreds of dollars instead of thousands of dollars. And as a smart, talented, brilliant person, is because you don't even understand how to sell your intellect. And you need to understand that. And that is really one of the reasons that you need to work with a coach, and you need to for this upcoming year, right? Because this is holding you back. And you may not feel that it's holding you back, because maybe sometimes with brilliant and talented people, they're making like $100 or $150. But, I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, what's your speaking fee? And they said something to me like $900 when the person should be at $5,000 at a minimum, really around $7,500 or more, but they don't even know how to do that. So therefore they're telling people, $900. Like, so you're totally on sale. So you go to these events, you're speaking at an event for $600, $900, $1,000. You're leaving $5,000 on the table on your brilliant self. You have no back end, which could make tens of thousands for you. And quite frankly, in my opinion, it's selfish. You're leaving your family. You know what I mean? It's costing you, it's costing you to go do these things. You're not properly being compensated for the time that you're putting in. Hey, Carla, I'm breaking it down this morning, right? I'm breaking this down. Hey, Carla. Hey, Carla. Hey, James, I'm breaking this down this morning. I'm talking to those of you who are smart, who are brilliant, who are amazing, who are on sale. And you don't properly know how to value your intellect. And as a result of not knowing how to properly value your intellect, you're leaving money on the table. You're doing speaking engagements for $1,000 that should be $5,000. You have no back end. You don't know how to monetize because you haven't packaged your intellect into coaching programs and products. You have no upsell as a result of what you're offering. And so you're struggling with this because people are telling you over and over again, you know what? I love what you just said. What you just taught me, it changed my life. They're telling you these things and you're hearing this over and over again. And you're like, great. Or they're coming back to you and they're telling you the results that they created. Some of them are monetizing based on the things you taught them. Some of them are really in their lives in a completely different place. But because you didn't properly value the gift, you can't monetize. And you're like, why am I struggling? And all of the people that you're helping, you're really able to elevate them and support them. And that's a blessing. But it also is a blessing to be a blessing to your family for the time that you're spending. And let's be clear, not all of what you're doing it because it's a tithe or it's a gift. A lot of times, the reason you are not monetizing your brilliance and your talent is because you don't know how to package your intellect. I told you it was going to be a tough scope today. I told you I was going to call you guys out, but I want you to change that in this upcoming year. The third thing, we don't assign value. The market does, right? The third thing, and this is such a good point. Thank you for putting that there, Tony. Exactly. The market does. So here it is. You have assigned no value to something that the market has assigned value to, and that it makes no sense, right? So you can't even be in front of your target audience. They can't even trust you because you have no price, or your prices are so your prices are so off, just not even in fair market. So like my client that I mentioned that was selling something for $40 that she should have at a minimum been selling for $400, her target audience wouldn't even trust her with their money because they haven't even bought a textbook for $40 trying to get their kids in an Ivy League school. All their testing's hundreds of dollars. Most of these people have spent thousands of dollars for private tutoring. A lot of these people are investing $10, $20,000. Trust me, my kids go to an independent school. It's $25,000 a year. They're paying that kind of money to get their kids into Ivy League, okay? Into Ivy League schools. And so she's selling a product for $40, and her target audience, they can't even believe her. All right. The third thing that you need to do, if you're talented, brilliant, and you're amazing, and you're struggling with monetizing in your business, the third thing you need to do, or you need to understand, is that you are unsure of how to price the gift because you've given it freely for years. And I'm telling you the truth. So the reason that you aren't monetizing your business is because you've been doing this thing. It comes natural to you. You've been doing it so long for free that now you've got to have this conversation about I know I'm breaking it down, that now you got to have a sales conversation, and you feel guilty for charging people for the thing that you've been doing for free for years. But what you've got to understand is that the reason you have to charge is because you have a capacity issue. All right. So the thing is, you can't talk to but so many people, like in a day, right? Or in a year, or in a week in your business. And if you truly want to help people who really want to use whatever you have, you need to be working with people who have skin in the game. And one of the things that I've learned is that it's about where to sow seed. And I sow seed where people invest and value the information that I give them. What I mean by that is I know that if I'm coaching someone that's investing in with me, that they're going to implement what I'm talking about. Now, if I give away a bunch of information to people who are not properly vetted, they may not be my target audience, they may not be serious about investing in their businesses, those people may use what I'm talking about, but they might not, because they don't have the habits yet to be my target audience. So I want to see people truly get results. So one of the things that I'm going to do, one of the requirements, if you want to build a business and you want to build you got to be an investor. You got to be an investor if you want to work with me. Why? Because I'm going to have you build a website. You're probably going to do squeeze pages. You might have to hire a virtual assistant. You're probably going to have to get your banners done. You're going to have somebody support you with your social media. Hey, darling, good to see you. And all of those things take investment. And if you're trying to run a business and you are not an investor and you're not trying to attract investors, then come on, guys. So the reason that a lot of you guys are struggling is because you are unsure of how to price the gift. And as a result of being conflicted about what you should be charging, you have just kept free on the table for way too long. I know some of you guys are fanning. Let me fan you. I know. Get up. Get some water. Get some water. Get some water, all right? Because I'm telling you, this is the thing. And you don't know what to price it at. And the reason you don't know what to price it at is because you aren't investing in a coach and you're trying to glean what you should do by doing a Google search instead of properly valuing your intellect and your talent. I'm just breaking it down, number 1 and number 2, right? And as a result of that, yeah, I know. As a result of that, that is why you are struggling. So whenever you come to figure out how much should it be, you're just pulling prices out the sky because you don't understand for you how to even properly value your gifts, your talent, what you're bringing to people, the level of transformation that you provide clients. You don't know how to break those things down. Now, do me a favor. If you're new on this scope, please share this scope. It's a power-packed scope. I'm bringing my A game. We all know people that need support. If you have an iOS device, swipe from left to right, hit the Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, and invite people. If you have an Android device, swipe from the bottom to the top, and make sure you're sharing on Twitter, on Facebook, on Periscope. If you love this scope, hit this little guy here on Periscope so that you can follow me, all right? Don't keep the information to yourself, right? Make sure you are sharing. All right. Today, what I'm teaching on, thank you guys, is why is a smart person like you brilliant, amazing? Why are you not making money monetizing your gifts, right? Because you have them. They're proven. All right, you would have testimonials if you wanted to. And a lot of you guys know what the testimonials are. You aren't leveraging any of that to be able to build your business, build your brand. So far, what I've talked about, the very first reason is because you're trying to coach yourself because you're smart and you're brilliant. And you've been able to, in the past, get to a certain place just based on your own intellect. But the thing is, to build this business and to monetize your brilliance, you need to have someone else looking into your business. The second thing that you need to understand is that you don't know how to sell your intellect. It's a completely different process. So this is not like you being at the top of the game in your workplace or as a consultant. This is about you building a business based on your intellect and how to properly value it. And if you don't understand that, then you need to be working with someone that does understand that can support you with building your packages. Number 3, you're unsure of how to price your gift because you've given it away freely for years. And as a result of giving it away for free, now you feel conflicted, like, and now I've been doing this for free, and now should I charge people? Yes. Okay. And your family deserves that. And I will tell you that, in my opinion, one of the most selfish things you can possibly do is take time away from your family to serve people who are getting great results. And your family not benefit. They're losing time from you. You're not bringing any money back to the family to support the goals that you guys have. So why would you be doing that, right? Unless your conflict is not about, feeling guilty for charging. Your conflict is around money, and you got a mindset issue. I told you I'm going to break this down around money. And so where you may have capacities on what you believe, you deserve. All right. I'm just telling you. All right. Number four is that you have no idea of the dollars that you're leaving on the table. So you're brilliant, you're smart, you're amazing, and you're not charged, you're not making the money you need to be making. You don't even know what you're leaving on the table, because if you knew what you were leaving on the table, then you would not even, this wouldn't even be a conversation. But the reason you don't know what you're leaving on the table is because you're not an investor, you're not investing in a coach, you're not likely in a mastermind with people who are making money, your association, you're not even able to glean what people are doing. Because the moment that you start to hear and you have a culture of people who are monetizing their intellect, I will tell you, you will flat change, all right? When I'm talking to my clients and I'm breaking down for them, what they can do, what their packages can look like, where they can sell them, how they can monetize, it's a game changer. They're no longer thinking the hearts went away. But I'm breaking this down for you guys. And you know what? Y'all need to get this. You need to understand that, you don't know what you're leaving on the table. So you go to a speaking engagement, somebody gives you a check for $1,000, and you're patting yourself on the back because you got a night in the hotel, and you left $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 on the table from that live event because you don't know. Or you're hosting a workshop. You're hosting a workshop, and people paid you $1.25, and you got 30 people in there, and you're excited about making, $5,000 from those 30 people for ticket sales, and and doesn't even cover your all, then you've got to subtract out your expenses, and you look at that and you're like, you know what? I did all right. I cleared $2,100. You left money on the table. And because you don't know what you're leaving on the table, I just did an event with 36 people at my event for my ticket sales, made $103,000 for 30-some people. No, it's not a fortune, but a lot of you guys are leaving money on the table. You're running the same numbers. You just don't have a sales process. You don't know how to package what you've got going on. You're not working with you don't know how to package your intellect. And now's the time to have that conversation, because the year is starting, right, when you get it, and you need to understand that. And because of what you don't know, you're leaving money on the table for your consulting opportunities. You don't understand how to do an upsell. You don't understand the value of a license use agreement. You don't understand that when you go into a corporation, that they will buy your intellect from you if it's packaged properly. You don't know how to take your books and do private labeling of your books to companies, and that they will buy that from you. You don't understand that if you get signed to a television show, you can do a license to use agreement, and they will pay you for the things that you've already written that you're going to express. You don't understand how to repurpose your content and create audios and courses that are self-study programs that are one-to-many models that people will buy from you passively. And you don't know how to do that. You don't understand the power of packaging bundles together in your coaching practice to be able to hit not only hundreds of dollars, but thousands of dollars, because it's bundled properly and it fully values your services. You don't understand how to take what you know how to do, create a big rock product that allows you to do a done for you service that's $10, $15, $20, $30,000 and beyond for a client. For a lot of you guys, it's a game changer. You don't know the power of outsourcing, how you can put those things together to be able to really be able to support the engine in your business. And I wanted to break that down for those of you who are like, oh, okay, what could I do? What could I do? I just gave you some, all right? And you need to quit all of this, all right, for this upcoming year, and stop making excuses. You need to be working with a coach. And yes, you need to write a check right now, immediately, so you can stop that, all right? The next thing that you need to do, I told you it's going to be a tough scope, all right? All right, the next thing you need to do, or the next thing you need to consider, if you're brilliant, you're smart, and you're amazing, and you're leaving money, okay, I sure gave you something, right? And you're leaving money on the table. The next thing that you need to do is you need to get started. Wait a minute. You think getting started is going to be expensive or harder than you think. So you think getting started, pulling this thing together, right, is going to be harder. And I'm going to tell you why you think that. Because when you're brilliant and you're amazing and you're smart and you're sharp, you like to stay in your own swim lane. That means that likely if you're a speaker, then you want to speak. And that's easy for you. But now you might not know how in the world you can build these packages. And that might seem really hard for you. And you don't have a team that's executing your vision, right? So if you don't have a team that's executing your vision, hey, babe, if you don't have a team that's executing your vision, that is why you feel like that. But the moment that you understand how to have a team to execute the dreams that you have, and you can learn that from working with a coach, they can show you how not only to take the things that you're really great at and that you can package into a product, but also how to put the team in place to execute your vision so that the things you want to see, your packages, your website, your programs, your consulting programs can begin to take flight. And if you don't have a team and you're brilliant and you're amazing and you're trying to execute a big vision, that is why you aren't monetizing your business, because you need a team to execute a high-level vision. For those of you who think it's up to you to stay up all night and do HTML or design your banner or update your website or keep your calendar, I'm breaking this down for you. Let me fan you. Let me fan myself, right? Because I told you, it's a tough scope. And I know that I'm going to step on their toes, all of your toes, all of them, right? And your fingers. But you need to get this straight this year. And the reason that you didn't hit where you wanted to hit this year, or you didn't monetize in your business based on your brilliance, is because of you. Because that's how you're thinking. You're trying to be that person that does everything, right, in perfectionism and excellence, right? And the fact that it's you, okay? And you need to understand that that's you. You need to have a team. You got to trust people to execute your vision. Part of being a great entrepreneur is understanding you cannot do it by yourself. I could never have built Scope School. For those of you who are members in my Scope School, which is it's a product where I take scopes just like this. I put them inside of a school, mindset, business, and life scopes. Over 250 scopes are in there currently. We add 4 new scopes every single month that are high level. I do a live Q&A on Facebook every single month to go along with Scope School. I couldn't have built that by myself. I wouldn't have been able to build a website, put 250 videos. We've got over 400. I can't do that. I couldn't execute the vision that I saw. Guys, I can think of what I want to do, but if I want to monetize at a high level, I've got to have people. I'm bringing it, okay, today, Latasha. I'm bringing it. So you got to understand, every great thing that I did this year, I didn't do it by myself. I didn't show up in Trinidad and coach women and, you know what I'm saying, by myself. I showed up. I had a team. And a lot of you guys got great ideas, but you have no one to execute your vision. And because you don't have anyone to execute it, that's why you didn't monetize in your business. You didn't monetize because you've got to invest in the infrastructure to execute your dream if you really want to get to the next level. My one-to-one clients, one of the first things that I ask them when they tell me what they want to do, I want to know, what's your infrastructure look like? Because I know if your infrastructure isn't tight, I don't care if you tell me you want to make $250,000. How you going to do that? How we going to do that? You know what I mean? Are you going to be the person sending out these emails? You the person writing the autoresponders? Are you the person, scheduling all these appointments? Are you the person doing the phone? What? You know what? And a lot of you guys aren't making the money you need to make because you don't have the infrastructure that you need. Having a little fun, all right? All right, so today what I'm teaching on is why brilliant and talented, amazing people, right, are not monetizing in their business, all right? Because making money is easy when you have these things that I mentioned. But the other thing that you need to understand is that this might hurt your feelings, but I'm just telling you, and it's true. The reason that you aren't monetizing, even though you're brilliant and amazing, is because you haven't earmarked dollars for your own growth. I'm telling you the truth. You don't even have money set aside for the growth you want. And yet you might be that person that's always talking about something that's amazing and brilliant and inspiring. But when you go back and look at your pool of how the hearts went away. All right. But when you're looking at your pool of you investing, how much money did you invest this year in personal development, personal growth, in your own strategy, in your business solutions? How much? I know if you didn't hit your goal, you didn't invest enough. All right. Because people who hit their goals have an appetite for investing. Okay. You didn't have it, you're right. You didn't have it set aside, but you found a way. That's right, Carl. Carl is an investor, all right? And watch what's going to happen to Carla's business in the next year. Because the thing is, for most of you guys, if you want to get to your next level, I always say, look, what do you want to make next year? What do you want to make next year? Absolutely. Awesome, Latasha. Latasha is invested in her business growth, okay? Think about it this way. I would say, look, if you want to make $50,000, you need to be investing $5,000. Okay. If you want to make $100,000, you need to invest 10. All right. You guys need to have an appetite for investing. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you guys, because you're brilliant and you're amazing, right? We did not in the right engines, or you did. And the reason that's a great point. So for those of you who are wondering what I'm answering, she said we did make an investment, but not in the right engines. And that's because you didn't know how to select a coach. You didn't understand that when you're picking a coach, you need to pick someone that represents the solution that you need. People buy their fears. So it's very easy to say when you're listening to someone that's selling something and they might be talking about some scenario that's your scenario, and like, I used to be like this too, on the bus stop, poor, broke, you know what I mean, down and out, but now I ride in limos. That's not wealth anyway. But nonetheless, you're like, yeah, you know, you ever see people get hooped up about stuff like that? And it's not your solution, right? They're motivated by their fears, all right? You need to be listening for the solution, all right? So for me, when I'm choosing a coach, I'm just going to tell you what I do. I want to be free. I want to stay free. I've been home for over 2 decades, running my own businesses, okay? Making multiple 6 figures for that duration of time, okay? One of my businesses is a mid-sized business. My other business is a coaching practice. I also own real estate. So when I'm selecting a coach in any of those areas, one of the things that I want to know is that that coach is free, okay? Now, if you're going to teach me and Redrick, the mom strategist, you're going to have to be free. That's number one, because that's what I want, right? I want sustainable success, passive models. Tell me how to do that, okay? So that's the solution. So any coach and the 4 coaches that I signed on working with this year, guess what? They're all free. They're all free. They're laptop entrepreneurs, all right? Because that's how I choose who I'm working with. I have never invested in someone because they gave a great talk and speech and I was motivated and inspired. You guys know, any of you guys were at my event or watched it virtually recently what was the kickoff, Carla? I said, you know what? Why are you here? You know what I mean? What is it that you need? You know what I mean? Why are you here? Because every single reason the reason you left your family, you came here to create a result. All right. So I'm interested in working with people for myself who want me to get a result and that call me out of that. I'm not interested. I don't need to pay money for friends. I've got great friends. I don't need to be hanging around people because of their own egos, and I need to be hanging around people who are, you know, fabulous, right? You know what I'm saying? And because it makes me feel like I'm part of some tribe. Let me tell you, I don't have those esteem issues. I don't have to buy that, all right? And I'm just breaking that down. I'm looking to work with someone that represents the solution that I need, all right? And everybody had exponential growth that came to the retreat. And the thing is, it's not even hype. It's like everybody. It's like everybody, okay? Because when you are investing at that level with people who know what they're talking about, that's what's going to happen, okay? All right, that's what's going to. I know it's not even hype, right? It's just what it is, all right? So a lot of you guys, the reason, even though you're smart, you're sharp, you're talented and all that, you didn't make the money you want to make is because you have not earmarked dollars investing in yourself. You don't have a stomach for it. And yet you're like, how are you going to, at a high level, for those of you who are coaches, right? And you're selling coaching, how are you going to have a sales conversation with people for high ticket items when you don't invest in a high ticket item? Imagine trying to talk to somebody who you're trying to sell a package you put together that's $10,000 and you struggling around believing it because you've never invested in anything for $10,000. You don't even understand the psychology of the client that's trying to invest that. Like, they might be like, oh my goodness, this is a lot of money, right? They got to go talk to their partner, their spouse. They got to say, babe, you know, I want this thing, it's $10,000. You can't even walk them through that because you have never done that. See, it's very easy for me to break down to somebody $10,000, $15,000 to 30-some thousand dollars, because that's what my clients invest at a high level. I mean, I'm not having any struggle with that, right? You know what? I'm not struggling with that because that's how I invest. And a lot of you guys cannot sell high ticket items because whenever you think about it, you're thinking, why would somebody pay that? Because you won't pay that yourself. You don't have a budget earmarked for your growth, and that's why you didn't make the money this year. And just look at what you spent and look at what you invested in your business. Couple things in your business in order to grow. You've got to always invest in the infrastructure, and you got to always invest in your own growth. And you're the leader of the team. It's not just about your talents, all right? Okay. The next thing, and you got to invest in your marketing, right? You got to invest in your marketing. All right. The other thing is that, well, this is really good, is that you don't have any systems or plan for growth. You got a work model. So the reason that you weren't able, even though you're smart and you're sharp and you're brilliant, to monetize in your business is because you built your business like a job. You know what I'm saying? You built your business like a job. All right. And you forgot you are an entrepreneur. I see this all the time. So I look at the packages like, where'd you come up with these prices? And they built it like a job, well, how'd you come up with this schedule? That you built it like a job, a 9 to 5, because that's all you know. And so I believe that your life informs your business. Like, who gets into business to build it like a job? Like, why? Right? And if you this year you didn't monetize in your business like you wanted to, it's likely because you don't know freedom-based models. You don't understand how to build a one-to-many model. You don't understand how to leverage what you know and create content and that can really sell for you around the world. I told you guys, my very first product was $97,000. It was an ebook that I created. I didn't even write it. Just 40 pages about in-law issues that I had and how to overcome them in a positive way, right? And I know. I learned, because I invested in a coach, of how to market an ebook and how to run ads to attract my people. And I made 97 grand. My second product, I sold for 167, and 72 people bought it. I think I did over $144,000 in that product. And you know what? That product was, I just interviewed people. So I didn't even teach anything per se. I interview people at a high level. So for those of you out here who are really struggling with that, I always built my models. Yeah, I said 40 pages. I always built my models that were time-rich models, and a lot of you guys don't know anything about it. Or what's that thing? And they said, "What you talking about, Willis?" Like, you like, what you talking about, Will? Saying what I'm saying is that you're building your business like a job. And you don't have time-rich models, time compounding models. You don't know how to leverage your content, take your brilliance and package it in all kinds of ways to be able to sell it, because you don't have to show up somewhere to make money. And if that's the only thing that you know, it's because those are your only teachers or your jobs, because you're not willing to invest in yourself. You don't have a coach that's doing that. And that would really make a big difference for you. And I told you I wanted to break this down for you guys, give you guys an amazing, I know what you're talking about, Redrick, right? What you talking about, right? I'm talking about the truth, James, and saying that if you don't understand how to package what you know, leverage what you know to earn a solid 6 figures, then you're missing out. It's a course that I teach and sell, miaredrick.com/3568. How to leverage what you know and earn 6 figures. How to leverage what you know and earn 6 figures. A 12-week course. Carla, you guys, Latasha, you got it in the pre-work. And I teach you that you are product, how to monetize who you are, how to build a 6-figure business from your home, how a teleseminar can absolutely change, or webinar can change your life, how to take your events and make your events profitable. All right. If you don't know anything about that, that's why you didn't do that. So at a minimum, I would invest in something like that. miaredrick.com/3568, miaredrick.com/3568 miaredrick.com/3568. That is our basic, but that's what I had to share with you guys today. Now, for those of you who are like, this is a fired up scope, it is, and I love it. Okay. All right. Now the question is, what you going to do about it? And my hope is that Many of you guys listening to me have been watching my scopes. At a minimum, you get this kind of content in Scope School. Yep, I'm selling. I am giving you an opportunity to now get your answers, get the answers that you want and need in order for you to monetize in this upcoming year. Nope, not twisting your arm. You got to make that decision. But I'm going to tell you what the options are, and I'd love to support you. Here we go. For just $147 a month, thank you, darling. For $147 a month, you can sign up for Scope School, which in essence are scopes that I'm teaching, just like I did just now. All right, $147 a month, no long-term commitments. That's a no-brainer. They're business scopes, they're life scopes. Immediately when you sign up, you get over 250 scopes. You can choose your own coaching journey, the information you need right now to get your business going, all right? And Scope School, no long-term commitment, but you can't go in and out. You sign up and you're in. And if you keep renewing, that's great. If you leave, you cannot come back, because I'm not interested in working with people who are in and out. I'm looking to work with people who are in for this upcoming year. Your dream is not an in or out thing. And if you don't have $147 to invest in your dream or work with a high-level coach to get great information, I don't know what to say. All right, so it's 250 scopes that you get. You also get added one new scope every single week. Likely there'll be more, because I did 6 scopes in the last 24 hours. So, but we add in a new scope every single week, business, life, or mindset scope. And then in addition to that, you also get a live Facebook Q&A where you can ask me anything from Facebook Live, all right, once a month. So that's great. Like, if you don't have a coach, that's a no-brainer right there. And to get that, all you need to do is check my bio out here on Periscope, or you need to visit miaredrick.com miaredrick.com/rock-business/. So miaredrick.com rock-business/. All right. But you can always get there from miaredrick.com and just go to Rock Your Business. All right. So that's a no-brainer. All right. Thank you so much for putting that there, Latasha. The second way that you could work with me is in a one-to-one consult. Now, what I recommend is 5 hours. That's the most economical option. Will blow your mind. We were on a scope last night. One of my clients he just had his first consult. Unbelievable. Wrote me and said, "Can I get 5 more?" Okay. He booked 3 with me. He wants 5 more. Okay. And the reality, this is what happens, because I go and I look at your business and we set it up. Right? We set it up. Like we get it right. All right. So you can monetize that. You have a product. You can monetize things you can actually sell. You'll understand your pricing, why it needs to be that way, what your infrastructure needs to look like. That's the shortest distance. Book a 5-hour bundle is $4,800. A 5-hour bundle is $4,800. If you book me one-to-one, then you're going to pay $1,500. All right. And a lot of times, like last week, I offered a special. I said 30 people can book a 1-hour session with me for $497. And 30 people bought, like 32 people but 32 people bought within 4 days. Boom, done, gone. All right. But a lot of you guys, that's what you need to do. And when I put these specials out here for you, you need to take advantage, because they got, instead of spending $1,500, $497 for one session. All right. So, but if you want to do that, if you want to book me there, you need to check my bio out here on Periscope. Check one-to-one, miaredrick.com/rock-business/, right? Yeah, without a landing page. I told you, who was that? Latasha. I did it without a landing page. And I told you guys, no landing page. All you had to do was email me. It wasn't even complicated. Like, it wasn't anything. It was just send over an invoice. And 32 people, because I said 30, but I had 32 people, and I took everybody. All right. So there you go. All right. And then the other way that I really love that you can work with me for 1 year is in my coaching program called Core Moms. All right. And Core Moms is a 12-month coaching program. It's a curriculum, 1 hour life each month, 1 hour business, and a 1 hour live Q&A with me each and every month to support you in a group setting, answering your questions. It rocks. You get assigned your accountability partners. People love it. And then you also have a private community, incredible community of people. This is for those of you who want to build your brands from scratch, or maybe you've got a business and you're not monetizing like you want to, and you want to learn how to create product, monetize your product. I know you're already in. Create your product, monetize your product. You want to learn how to sell. You want to learn how to brand. You're trying to figure out how to position your business as an expert. You're trying to figure out how to get media. You want to know how to partner with corporations so that you can sell in bigger packages. I break it down. I show every single thing that I've done in my business. Everything that I teach, none of it's theoretical. It's what I've been able to do in my own business to build a successful business. And I don't stop there. I teach you also on the life side because your life informs your business, right? So we look at boundary setting, the power of being vulnerable because, some of the things when you're making a bold request of yourself in your business, you're going to have to be vulnerable, okay? Because it feels like you're naked. But you got to do that to change and to grow, right? Also, I teach you, we look at, are you properly valuing yourself? Because if your prices are low, a lot of times it extends to your life, is that you're giving away your arms and toes in other areas of your life. I'm telling the truth. So Core Moms is $7,500 a year. If your business earns under $50,000, you can apply for a scholarship that gives you $1,000. So you can have Core Moms for $6,500. It literally is like a $10,000 program. Phenomenal program. I love it. My clients do amazing. And that's just a reality of what that looks like. So you can also find that at miaredrick.com/rock-business/, which is also in my bio here on Periscope. Or you can simply go to miaredrick.com, scroll down the page, and see Rock Your Business, and all the ways you can work with me are there. All right? Are there any questions? Are there any questions for me? Did you guys enjoy this scope? Did you guys enjoy this scope? Did you enjoy this scope? All right. Tawanda, you're going to have to catch the replay. It was a really good scope. You need to keep it up. We're trying to get all of my scopes off of here so they go into Scope School. We've got 400 off, and then we're trying to get the rest. This was great, what we caught. You need to catch the replay. The rest of it was great, too. It was really, really, really good, all right? And so don't you guys make the same mistake going into the new year, being brilliant, talented, and amazing, trying to coach yourselves, being too cheap to invest in who you are because you are your number one asset. And if you don't know what to do, you need to get around people that know how to monetize content and brilliance, all right? I know how to do that. And in my sleep. And the thing is, for Core Moms or a one-to-one client, what I typically recommend is that if you want to interview with me or you've got questions, Mia@findingdefinitions.com, Mia@findingdefinitions.com, Mia@findingdefinitions.com. Thank you so much, Carla. She's a sweetie pie. And do the scopes share the same info as one-on-one, or do they help to execute a little bit more? So the scopes, they're different. So some are executing. I like the scopes because I'm thinking, where can you get 250 hours of coaching about how to create your product, how to monetize your product, how to build your brand, how to get partners? How can you do that? Where else can you get access to the information for $147 a month? All right. And you can consume as much as you need and as much as you want. And I'm a high-level coach. I use Scope School to supplement my other coaching programs. My one-to-one clients and my Core Mom coaching clients also get that, so that if they need something intermittently in coaching with me, I've provided that level of training for them, and they can choose it. Because you guys know how it works. Like, you might be working with a coach, but sometimes you have a question about something else. And Scope School allows you to be able to click a button and literally have access to a library of coaching training from a master coach. And at the end of the day, it's $147. You know what I'm saying? $147, right, for 250 hours of content right off the bat. Like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer if you want high-level content. You know what I'm saying? Because I could be charging easily $299, $499 a month for the content. And that's real. All right? And the fact of the matter is, if in fact it doesn't sell and take off at this price, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to increase the price because I know people who invest at a high level get that. All right. So any questions? Yeah, the content is fire. It is. Are there any questions? See, the hardest sale you'll ever have are people who don't invest in themselves. This is why, well, maybe I'll teach about that one day. All right. But the hardest sale you'll ever have are people who struggle to invest hundreds of dollars in themselves. You know, if you're working with a top-notch premier client, they don't struggle around $100. That's like, they know they deserve that. So they invest at a high level in themselves. When you're working with people who don't have a muscle for investment, you know what I'm saying? They want everything and they've not invested anything. And that's the reality. I'm going to teach on that. I think I talked a little bit about that last night, but that's really important. And I'll do something like that for Scope School too, because you guys need to have that. All right. Are there any other questions? I wanted to do my scope early because I've got my husband to do some painting for me. Okay. And you know how that is, right? So so I didn't know if I was going to be able to scope while he was painting. So because he likes to play his music on his front level, so I thought let me do a scope right now so that he can paint. Okay. And I'll get my scoping out the way. Yeah. All right. I love you too. I love you too. Any final questions before I sign off? Any final questions going once? I know it takes you guys a minute to type. Thank you. All right. Any final questions? And thank you guys so much for sharing the scope. Thank you for sharing it with other people. That's what we got to do. All right. All right. Going twice. Okay. All right. So I want to thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you. I love you guys. And I want you to have an amazing day. All right. Knock it out the park. All right. Bye.